Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
As the Black Eyed Peas once said, let's get it started. I'm your host,
They
Jack.
said something first, but it was worse, and
they
it
did.
sounded worse song-wise, too.
They're cruel. That's the 2000s for you, though. You just kind of went through like a testing phase of like how mean can I be, and then you just wind up with something that's not mean at all and works way better than the original, I feel like.
Yeah, facts. I remember listening to that on my CD tape, bro. Fucking aging myself right now. Pop it open.
Nice.
Right at, you have to do the little,
Yeah.
Now that's what I call music 14.
Nice. Me on the me seeing the Kids Bop TV commercials, being like, "Damn!" Even as a child, I remember being like, "That's so lame." Like if someone ever played,
dude,
like the Kids Bop version
also,
in front of me.
Kids Bop, or do you remember the Beat Bop, like the thing you had to pull and crank and touch? Or
Bop it, yeah.
Bop it.
Oh,
that shit is so hard. That was so hard.
Yeah. Shout out to Bop It. Shout out to twisting it, pulling it, all that stuff.
That's right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast. I'm your host, Jack, aka joestar. With me, as always, the world famous Pablo Escobar, and we are joined today by the esteemed Baraheni.
What up?
To talk about the freaking Eastern Conference. I don't know if you guys heard, playoffs right around the corner. So we're going to be breaking that down today. How are you doing, man?
Chilling. Hanging in there, getting ready for a voyage to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
As they once say.
Okay.
Might catch a Guardians game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I don't know. Other things. Any recommendations for Cleveland? Do you guys have any?
As Joakim
Sights
Noah
and
once said, I've
What?
never heard anyone say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation. You know?
I'm definitely not going on vacation, I'll tell you that. But,
Do you
going
get to
on
stay
work.
at the same hotel as the players?
No. But
shoot.
we have found ourselves a pretty cool Airbnb that has a gym inside
Oh,
that I'm pretty hyped for. Not gonna lie. That I'm
Nice.
hyped
Like a
for.
basketball gym or like a
No,
workout gym?
Nope, just like a workout gym.
Okay.
Just like, yep.
Damn.
That's all I got. That's all Cleveland has to offer.
I suppose. I don't mean to shit too hard on Cleveland.
I know, I'm sorry. This is
I
too
don't
mean
know.
out the gate.
Will
but
this be
whatever.
your first time?
I've been to Cleveland before. No, and
Okay.
I know it relatively intrinsically. It's an interesting place. I would say underrated food scene in Cleveland, Ohio. Pretty good food spots.
I feel like food always tastes better when I'm traveling. I can never get like an accurate I'm always like, because like when I go to eat somewhere when I'm traveling, I find like the best places.
Right.
And maybe
Yeah,
that's not representative of like the average thing there.
That would actually be an interesting video series. Like, hey, I'm going to the most average spots in every city. And let's
I'm
see.
going to Jollibee drive-through real
Yeah.
quick.
What
They're
is
like,
the
"What?"
best average? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Cleveland, all I know is that the river was on fire back in the day. I've been wanting them to bring it back. I think that'd be a great tourist
The
attraction.
river
Like
fire?
how they light up the Eiffel Tower at night at like 11 p.m. every night.
Or like how they paint the river in Chicago green. You could just
yeah.
set it to flames.
Yeah, there's
Not
got to
bad.
be a holiday we could structure a river fire around for like a couple hours or something.
Okay, I was having this conversation with people a couple of weeks ago. Do you guys know about the balloon disaster in Cleveland?
Oh, vaguely.
This sounds familiar, yes.
So it's from Ted Stepien. So they ran like some sort of, I don't know, he was promoting something, and he used to be the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he got a bunch of these big parade balloons, and I think they filled them up with the wrong type of gas or air or whatever it was, and they flew too high, they flew away, and then they all came crashing down on people. I don't know.
Shit.
Search it up. Google it. It's yeah.
the
70s in Cleveland.
The
Yeah.
Cleveland. Well, I miss the 70s because you could just do whatever. You could be like, yeah, I am going to release 20,000. Well, I don't know because at Nebraska football games, on the first touchdown of every game, there's like balloon vendors that go around the stadium, and you buy a balloon and then you let it go when the touch. But turns out that's terrible for the environment, and like farmers would be like, yeah, fucking lost a couple acres because it was just covered in like blown up balloons and shit now. And so I haven't been in a minute. I think they're still doing it, but okay. So Balloon Fest 86 was a charitable event in Cleveland, Ohio, where 1.5 million balloons were released to break a world record. The stunt turned into a disaster when cold weather forced the balloons back down, causing traffic accidents, shutting down an airport runway, and interfering with a Coast Guard search for 2 missing fishermen who later drowned.
Wow.
My God.
They weren't going to find them anyway. It's hard to find people in the water. It's so big.
Yeah. Big balloon. You're trying to pin all of this on us. We'll take the L for the airport or whatever, but the fishermen that's a separate thing.
But the Cavs are somehow related to this.
Ted Stepien.
I can't. Yeah, it like Ted Stepien ran it or something along the lines. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember doing a video way back when about the Cleveland Cavaliers and how the Stepien rule was created. And by the way, he earned that name. I'll tell you that. The Stepien rule, he was trading.
For those who don't know, the Stepien rule is a rule that prevents you from trading literally all your picks. So what was he doing? Was he like, for the next decade, you get my picks?
He was tossing them. Like, I'm pretty sure there was, I can't, again, a long time ago that I did this video, but there was one major player in the 80s that got drafted that was a Cavs pick, and I think they got gifted to like the Celtics or the Lakers or something along the lines of that. But people would basically kind of like the Pelicans right now call up Ted Stepien and be like, hey, first round pick for our 15th man on the roster.
Nice.
And he'd just be like, sure, no problem.
That rocks. Shout out to Joe Dumars.
He was the Arturis of his day. Oh, yeah, I guess Dumars is the guy now.
Well, I was going to say it's always great when you're doing such good work that like people are bringing up historical rules that were implemented specifically to avoid situations like these. So, yeah.
And not because of dominance, but because of incompetence.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the Jordan rules. It's the Stepien rules. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you know about the Magic Johnson pick? How the Lakers got the Magic Johnson pick?
I know it was because they traded for someone. I'm not that old, Pablo. I don't know.
Well, you just brought up CDs, so that was all the same thing, right?
You just said you remember when you saw Ted Stepien with your own eyes release all
That's
the
right.
balloons.
You were at the balloon thing. I remember. You just said it.
I don't remember.
No, but
I have no idea.
I only found this out a couple months ago. The Utah Jazz had the number 1 pick. And then they signed Gail Goodrich in free agency, I think it was. And then the NBA was like, okay, Lakers get your pick as a compensatory pick. They're like, whoa. We didn't say that. And they're like, no, sorry, the Lakers get it. So it was a freaking heist. History makes it sound like idiot Utah Jazz traded their first overall pick. They don't value it like it's anything. And I was always thinking like, well, the front office minds of today are subhuman cavemen, so I can't imagine what they were decades ago. And but no, it was unlawful seizure.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's like the McDonald's coffee burn of the NBA, where history paints that lady as a crybaby weenie, and it's like I just needed skin grafts on my thighs. That's what the Jazz are like right now.
Oh, one more thing. So my basketball team is now rudderless. We have no direction. One of the names that's been thrown in the ring is Mr. Masai Ujiri. You have an intimate relationship with Masai Ujiri. That's not public. But
yes, of course.
Yeah,
naturally.
What? And I haven't looked into Masai's record overall. Over the years, I felt, in general, pretty smart guy. But tell me, is he willing to tank?
Yes. I think if the season I think if the season goes badly to start, he's more than comfortable shifting. But also, I'm surprised to hear Masai being in the news because like he's now a part owner of the Toronto Tempo team. So I wonder if he'd have any interest in even doing that. But I think he is willing to tank. I think given what, Chicago and where it is at this point in just the life of a franchise is a way to put it.
Catatonic, if you will.
Sure. Catatonic indeed. Anemic, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah.
The nurses are like, he could wake up tomorrow. Maybe. I mean, we don't know.
But yeah, I think he'd be comfortable tanking. I mean, like the Tampa year that got them Scotty Barnes, I don't think they went into that saying they were going to tank, but they decided to pivot pretty quickly because they knew it was a lost season. And so more than half of the year that year, they were losing as much as they possibly could. So yeah, I think he'd be down to tank.
What were his downfalls in general? If he didn't have the ownership disagreement, would he have not been fired at all, do you think?
Yes, I think he would have stayed on as GM. I would say I think the downfall of Masai, so to speak, or whatever, is the fact that he even has said it post leaving and like in his exit interviews and whatnot, that he was less focused on building the team as he was some of the other ventures that he had, whether it was Giants of Africa or like basically just growing out other aspects of the organization for the Raptors. And so much of, I guess, the decision-making process he let his team do. But that's been reported in different various ways. So like Michael Grange of Sportsnet has reported that no, actually Masai was heavily involved and was a big part of the process. Others will report differently, and Masai himself has said that he wasn't necessarily as locked in the last few years of being Raptors, president of basketball operations. So
go ahead and aggregate that, guys. As Baraheni, Masai, AWOL, his entire Raptors tenure.
That'd
baby.
be crazy. I look, I don't know. I think there's a lot of misfires over the last 4 or 5 years for the Raptors and their organization in terms of like the contracts that they've given out and some of the guys that they've missed on in the draft or whatnot. But I think this is something a lot of Raptors people struggle with. You don't know who to blame that on because there's sort of this curtain behind everything, which decisions get made and whatnot. And so you really don't know who's the guy who's calling the shots there. Now there's clarity though. Now we know it's Bobby Webster making the decisions. It's Dan Tolzman, their assistant GM, making decisions, yada, yada, yada. But yeah.
Yeah. His name has been thrown out. I don't think there's anything credible to it. It's just he's big name guy. And
he
I don't even think
gets
they
thrown out
started
for all of them. Like I remember for the Wizards one, he got thrown out. Suns, I think it was recently, he got thrown out for it. He just basically gets involved in every conversation. But I don't know. I'd be curious to see who you guys pick because also, does ownership for the Bulls want to tank? I think that's a big part of this thing.
Yeah.
Are they willing to lose seasons? Yeah.
The despicable Jerry Reinsdorf is too old to run the show, so his loser son Michael Reinsdorf took over, and he said, "We're trying to build something sustainable. We're not going to tank though. So don't even bring that up."
Then you're cooked.
So. Then I wonder, why did we fire Arturis at all? Like, what did he even do that they were able to identify as a mistake? Like, no, we need to draft Giannis at 15 every year, and that's how we're going to build our team.
I was going to say you need luck right now for this lottery too. It's like hope that whatever percentage chance, I don't know what percentage chance the Bulls have, but like that
it's not very good. It's like them and the Bucks, I think.
Well, we have the Blazers pick now too. We have two first round picks.
Yeah, okay. But the Blazers can't jump, right? It'll just be it'll be at 15.
Yeah, they'll be at
now.
15 or 16. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just like the idea of Masai. Mr. Athletic 6'9" guy.
Oh, I hope he believes death to small guards.
Walking into the Bulls roster, be like, everyone here is 6'4". I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, maybe has he seen a Senge? maybe he'll take the job.
He said he loved him before the draft. That had a lot of Raptors people worried. We were like, no, please don't draft Senge.
Hey, what the heck?
Dodge your bullet, baby.
Listen, go watch Colin Murray Boyle's tape, man. Left tween, let's go.
Oh, obviously you haven't seen Noah Senge's free throw rate from his days in Germany. I'll tell you that much.
Oh man, always a beautiful thing to be holding on to after the rookie campaign is over is his advanced stuff overseas,
Oh,
real
yeah.
outlier stuff. Oh
Mhm.
man. Uh yeah, I don't know. I don't have shit else as far as like intro stuff. I'm sick, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. What's your guys' go-to sick drink? I've been drinking watered down apple juice for like 3 days.
What?
What
Why
do
is
you
that a
drink when you?
thing? Is that what you do?
That's what I do, yeah. Because I feel like Sprite gets tossed out a lot, but my
Mhm.
throat has been killing me. Like
Yeah, yeah.
even when I like burp, it hurts, and so like no fizzy stuff can go down right now.
I'm a big tea guy when I'm sick, so I'll do they have the Neocitrin tea or whatever, and it just knocks you right out. So like at like 10 o'clock at night,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as that West Coast game starts.
Dude, I actually
Like,
did drink sleepy time tea at halftime of Warriors Clippers last night,
oh, were you
and
dying? Yeah.
the whole time I was like, please just blow them out. The Clippers kept going up like 10 points, and I was like, please just go up 20. I'll go to sleep. And
Yeah.
it kept becoming a good game over and over again. So, yeah, I was pretty beat.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with the Blazers Suns game too. It was like, oh, this is too close to go to sleep. I'm so tired. But Neocitrin, that's my go-to. And this is not a plug. So whatever nighttime sleepy tea
Mm-hmm.
you use,
Generic.
generic.
But you're
yeah.
willing to listen if Neocitrin reaches out.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Not against it. Yeah.
The sleepiest podcast in the NBA
That's
sphere.
right.
That's us,
That's
baby.
And you guys record at night, right? For the
We
the
do,
daily?
yeah, we do record at night. So I would,
Oh, the
man,
dream.
I can like halfway pull up a Neocitrin mid pod. It's not a bad idea, guys. You might be cooking. Not gonna
If
lie.
you-
If you're listening to this, you probably should go to sleep. I had a strategy for you.
Oh man. Okay. So Eastern Conference playoffs. Pablo, where do you want to start? Do you want to start like 4-5 matchup or like the boring stuff first? Obviously, the 1-8 will be decided tomorrow evening between the Magic and the Charlotte Hornets. Where do you want to start, Pablo?
I think we should start with the less compelling matchups. So, who is the 2-7? I forgot to write it down.
It's Celtics
Boston?
Sixers.
Philly, yeah. Boston,
Yes.
Philly.
Let's start there because I got too caught up with the other ones, so I don't have
Okay.
anything for this one.
Yeah, this is the one I would say this is probably the least compelling because we did get the report about an hour ago that the Sixers are preparing like Embiid is not going to play after the
But he
Yeah.
definitely could play. He just hates his teammates.
yeah,
That's the
he's
report
choosing.
from-
They're
from Skip
preparing like
Bayless.
he's going to choose not to play. Yes, that is the report. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any hot takes about Celtics Sixers right now?
No, not at all. I mean, it'll be cool to watch Tyrese Maxey go off. I feel like this will be a good series for him. I'm excited to watch VJ Edgecombe in playoff series in general, see how he gets his game off. Paul George has had a good, I don't know, 11 games, 12 games since he's returned. So that's exciting, I guess. But I agree with you guys. I feel like Boston is just going to destroy these dudes. And maybe it'll be intriguing just because of the, I don't know, history behind these two teams playing and the rivalry between the two franchises. And like maybe they end up stealing a game, the Sixers,
Mhm.
or two. But I would be hard pressed to like even think of picking the Sixers to win the series.
Pablo?
Yeah, I just think it's a talent diff, and it probably should be a sweep. One thing I do wonder is so my death to small guards is a very easy stance to maintain, but Tyrese Max is one of the guys who fights it the most because
Oh,
he
yeah.
makes plays defensively, and he has avoided playoff dropping, and so let's say this playoffs, if he were to have a series where he struggles offensively, do you guys think that that's an indication of like that should be considered canon? Where it's like, oh, well, there was that bad series he had against the Celtics, and we got to consider that, or would you sweep it under the rug and say, well, talent diff? Come on, that whole thing wasn't canon.
I don't know. I would probably consider it less canon than more, just because I'm already of the opinion that like he's not going to be a number one guy on a championship team. I don't really feel like that, and so I don't feel like whatever happens in this series, I don't really feel he's going to change my stance on that all that much. Like maybe he will go off. Like he's definitely a guy. When you talk about Philadelphia stealing a game, I could see it being powered by 45 points from Tyrese Maxey or something, but especially against like the kind of defenders that Boston's going to be able to at least start with him on. Depth to small guards. Peyton Pritchard will be out there a lot, and I'm sure Tyrese Maxey would be very happy to see him on a switch or whatever. But those possessions where Derek White is hounding him or whatever, that's those are going to be really tough, and there's not a ton of like infrastructure around him as far as shot creation goes to really like alleviate that pressure when Embiid isn't playing. And even when Paul George like is playing well, I still don't feel like he's a guy that's like a super high pressure release valve for helping off Tyrese Maxey, I guess. What about you?
Yeah, I've actually, in spite of or despite the Embiid injuries and Paul George missing 25 games, I've actually enjoyed watching the Sixers this year. Like Maxey is one of my favorite players to watch, and the combination of like off-ball scoring and the pick and roll craft that he's developed has been really, really special. Like development-wise, from where he was as a rookie to what he is now is just insane. And the speed at which they play is really fun. And I think the wings that they have between Oubre and Barlow, and I like Trendon Watford, even though he's fallen out of the rotation, but like those guys just work well with the identity that they have without Embiid. It was always how they're trying to morph those two things together and shape it so that Embiid works well next to those guys. Like this is a fun playing team without Embiid, and that's exactly what they are right now. To your point about Maxey and what this all means for him, I don't think it'll mean much. I think we all know that he probably ends up being on an All-NBA team, likely this year. He is, I would probably say, like a top 10 guard in the NBA. There's a lot of good guards. There's a lot of good guards. So it's hard to give out like a top 5 case for Maxey. But
top 13-ish. Let's go there.
Sure. I'm down. Yeah, no problem.
How big is your Bona?
I do like Bona. I do like him. I think him versus Kata, that's like niche Twitter. We love it. Like lock in for Kata versus Bona. I'm in. But also low key, what if we have a huge Andre Drummond series? What if he's cashing corner
he's
threes?
Only 32.
Yeah, he's only 32, which is shocking.
Yeah, that's one of those.
I look older than him, and he looks 32. That's freaking incredible.
He's 32. It's 26. So I mean, shit. Yeah, he could probably be playing into like the 2030s. That's crazy. He's just been around for so long. No, I mean it'd be cool to get a good Drummond series or whatever, but ultimately I feel like we're all on the same page where it's just a talent diff. It's a very tough first round matchup to draw if you're Philadelphia, because like you never you don't want to game the system falling to 8th or whatever. I feel like that's just asking for trouble, but there's more avenues to be like, oh, we could do this against the Pistons or we could do that against the Pistons. The Celtics just have you beat on so many different fronts in terms of like the math of it all, just how like overwhelming their offense could be, and how like I don't know, like it feels like they could have multiple guys have stinker series and probably like it's still not that close. Like you don't need a nuclear run from Tatum or anything. That's out of the question at this point. So
side plot of this thing is like there are a few Celtics players that have not a lot of playoff experience. In Kata and Walsh and like Shireman and all those guys. And so maybe this is a good warm-up series for them to get their feet wet and like understand what playoff basketball looks like, because they kind of need to be up to speed when they play what I'm assuming is going to be the New York Knicks in the next round. But
what would have to happen for the Sixers to win this series? Let's start off with the baseline. Tatum and Brown collide. They've both torn each other's rib cages off, out for the season.
Obliques.
Obliques,
Yeah.
both the double
Celtic-
Taylor Hendricks, both
Yes.
directions.
Yeah.
Their ribs actually got caught in each other, and it's going to take a month.
Right.
It's going to take
Well,
months to figure out how to get them out.
Adam and Eve type situation.
Yeah.
The reverse Adam and Eve. No, they bonded.
So
Yeah.
the Celtics are probably still favored in that situation, right?
Wow.
I don't know about
Because they were
that.
great without Tatum all year, and they were still successful without Jaylen Brown. And famously, a lot of dweebs will say, "Well, Leon off with Jaylen Brown. He's actually a negative when he's on the court."
I love how Dweeb is back, by the way. Shout out DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan.
Your contribution, my guy. Dweeb is back.
Oh man.
Yeah, wow, what a vibe. Anyways, I would say that would go 7, but Boston would still win.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's at a certain point. Then at least the door is open for Tyrese Maxey, 38 points per game, and the Sixers get it done, or something like that. But yeah, it's still just a big talent gap. And yeah, I don't know, like Joe Mazzulla, like that last game of the season against fucking Orlando, where it's like the Celtics have there's no reason for them to do anything, and Luka Garza goes for like 30 and 10 or whatever. It's like, okay, that is representative of this team's core. And so yeah, I would still take Boston, I guess, if they both died. And since they're both alive, I'm thinking Boston in 5 games. I will give Philadelphia 1. Pablo, do we have any requests for these chuds?
We do. So, should we start off with? Okay, we have 3 from Philadelphia and 2 from Boston. Which should we start with?
Let's do 2 for Boston, 1 for Philly. Let's slant it towards the
Oh,
people we think are
shoot.
gonna win.
Yeah, guys, you didn't realize this, but the regular season has an impact on playoff lobbyist requests as well. So your team should have done better. This is from Eli the Fighter. Are we at all worried about Kada and Vooch front court rotation in the offs? As a Celtics hater who lives in Boston, I need healthy Embiid to cook. Hope this was as insightful and concise as requested. # Lakers in 5.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for the news. It's done.
Honestly, embarrassing that you didn't even wait for the Shams report to send this one in, but it is what it is. Yeah, healthy Embiid. We talked about it last time. It's just like I feel so bad for him because it's like, dude, if the knees are one thing, I get it. You're 10 feet tall, but the appendix, like what? I mean, this is just like an act of God at that point. So it sucks, but it is what it is.
He's had a lot of weird injuries, man. Bell
And a lot
palsy.
of, like,
palsy.
Bell's palsy. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I feel like he's been sick several times
Yeah.
in the playoffs. Like, just like,
Bro needs to get his Neocitrin up. Brought to you by
Whoa!
Neocitrin.
Epic.
Nice.
Underrated storyline. Vucevic revenge series? Is this his first time playing Philadelphia since he's been dealt? Did he ever play him in Orlando in the playoffs?
How is the revenge?
Wait,
there?
oh yeah, why
What's
is he
the
upset
revenge?
at Philly?
He started in Philly.
Oh,
right.
Did he really? How many?
Yeah.
That's like I've memory wiped that. Like
No,
Men
I've
in
never
Black.
even heard that before. What the hell?
How many games did he play?
I feel like he played
one?
like 2 years there.
51. His rookie year was in Philly, and then that offseason he got traded to Orlando.
What
So,
was the trade?
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just on Basketball Reference. Let me see. Vooch to Orlando trade. Let's see what that brings up.
Al Farouk Aminu. Oh no, that's the other
Whoa.
one. Sorry. No,
Oh,
that's
yeah, that's the Bulls
the
one.
other one. Yeah.
What? They got traded for each other twice. Whoa. 36ers Vucevic trade. God damn.
Magic
That's-
acquire Vucevic from Philadelphia.
So this is to get Andrew Bynum to Philadelphia, I guess. It was a 4-team trade that Vucevic
Are the
was
Bulls in this?
involved in.
We had Bynum for a day.
Yeah.
We salary dumped Luol Deng
Okay.
in a Bynum trade.
The Bynum
Okay.
trade is awesome because of the bowling story afterwards. Okay, so the Sixers get and I'm sorry about that. The Sixers get Andrew Bynum and Jason Richardson. The Lakers get Dwight Howard, Earl Clark, and Chris Duhon.
Oh, this is part of the Dwight trade.
Okay.
I'm just hearing like 2K in my brain right now. The Nuggets get Andre Iguodala. The Magic get Mo Harkless.
Whoa.
This is a crazy.
This is an
wait,
incredible
wait.
trade. This is incredible.
Iguodala was part of the
Yeah,
Dwight
I guess
trade?
he was.
I guess, yeah. I guess it was. Yeah, damn. This is like a league altering deal.
This really
kinda.
did shake up
Crazy.
because I mean Iggy in Denver, then eventually the Golden State. That's crazy. And then the Magic
That might
got
be the
Mo
two best
Harkless.
defenders in the league at that point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Mo Harkless, Vooch, Aaron Aflalo, Al Harrington, Christian Ayenga, Josh McRoberts, a protected first-round pick from each team, and a second-round pick from Denver.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy. So Vooch
you-
revenge, baby. He's pissed.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down.
You think at the time the Magic were like, this is our young core. We're stacked. Just
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
that Aflalo and Vooch pick and roll in 5 years. This is going to be huge. Okay, the other Boston one is from Yearbook Photo, and that's FOTO. I could see Luka Garza having a random 16-point game that swings a series. Any role players you see having a game like that?
I mean, I guess. Is that the bar for swinging a series? He has 16 points. Okay.
That's like the thing Bill Simmons sometimes does, where it's like this guy he could do like four threes in a quarter, and it changes
He's
the
like
series.
he's like that type of guy. He could go 7 for 9 from the second to fourth quarter in the second.
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah. Let me think. Role players.
Garza's not bad. He just killed the Orlando Magic, like decimated them.
Yeah, I am thinking that. I don't know. I do think it's just like Shireman. There'll just be a game where it's like, like Bill said, like 7 to 9 from 30 or something.
yeah.
Like he can have 30 very within the flow of this offense, no problem. And he's a guy that, like, I don't know, when he's really hot, it's hard to like take care of all the real players on the Celtics and then still heavily contest him. So,
I could see like a Jordan Walsh 6 stocks game.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
One
would
where
be
it's just,
epic.
his fingerprints are everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Harlan cooking on the broadcast. He's a maniac. It's like, all right, yeah, all right, sounds good.
Oh man.
Okay,
Okay.
and then Jared McCain's nails. What if Embiid's appendix was keeping him from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals this entire time? Grab your popcorn. ... Popcorn emoji.
Sorry. This is on me for putting it out 20 minutes before Shams dropped the report. This is on me. Yeah. Maybe it's true. Maybe they'll go on a run without him, and then he'll be back for the Eastern Conference Finals. But I don't know.
Have you guys looked at Joel Embiid's contract?
No. How many years more are we on?
It's
It just started, right?
It just started this year, but it's 3 more years after this, and I think he has a player option in his final year worth like $70 million. Yeah, player option in 3 seasons worth $67 million.
Oh man. Yeah.
Less than ideal.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah. This Sixers season, it's been so, like, VJ Edgecomb's been so hope-filled, like, it's been so fun that you kind of forget everybody was about to kill themselves in October, where it was like, what are we going to do with Embiid and Paul George's money, you guys? So, yeah, that is sad.
Paolo and Embiid swap. Who says no?
No. Hey, man, I don't know. Once we get to this fucking Pistons matchup, we can talk about that, I guess. So is that it for those requests?
Yeah.
All right. I'm done with this stupid. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. All right, 33 minutes. Do we want to do Pistons, and we can talk about the Hornets and Magic too, I guess?
Sure.
Yeah, we could.
Are
do
we
that.
all taking the Hornets? Is that like fair to assume we're all?
I'm
God,
feeling
I
the
hope so.
vibes. I'm feeling the
Yeah.
vibes.
If they, for them to win that Heat game and then lose to this version of the Orlando Magic, it would be shocking. But I guess that's what, when you make it a 1-game elimination thing, anything can happen. But yeah, they just shot, like, you have to imagine that Heat game was like the bad game.
Yeah,
for
the
them.
aberration.
Like, I will pick the Hornets, But I don't know if we want to talk about what fucking nightmare Paolo's been. We could do that too. We got 3 Scotty Barnes guys on this podcast. We could
That's
take
right.
some laps while we're
dancing, laughing in the music videos. Come to death row. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know, man. Paolo is look. Damn, it's crazy how quick the sentiment around someone changes, right? There was that video of that one dude who was like, Paolo Banchero is a motherfucker. And I know that was recycled recently, and I saw that. And it's so funny to look at that now and how the sentiment around someone changes. I don't want to blame it or put it all on Paolo or Franz or whatever. I just think they've probably been miscast. Like we had this conversation, I think, like before the season even started. The trade was about trusting Paolo and Franz to be the guys that they thought they were. The Desmond Bane trade. And Bane had a pretty good season in Orlando, all things considered.
Really good year, I thought.
Yeah, like maybe one of his best seasons of his career. Maybe the best, honestly. I got to look at the numbers, but not sure. The other guys didn't hold their end of the bargain. Like Paolo and Franz just haven't become the players that people expected them to be. And I think at this point, you have to, all options are open. Once they lose this game on Friday, all options will be open, whether it's, of course, they're going to let go of Jamal Mosley because that's what every NBA team does when they don't meet expectations. And then, you know, do they trade Suggs? Do they pay Anthony Black? Do they break up Franz and Paolo? These are the questions. And I feel like basically all doors are open at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I worry. I don't know. I don't worry about the Magic having trouble making the decisions, but I feel like a lot of the fans that I've seen are very much like, it's one thing at a time. Like, we need to fire Jamal Mosley, and then we'll see what's going on. And I don't feel like it's that kind of offseason at all, especially with Anthony Black needing to get paid and that being like a really important part of why they were even kind of good this year. Yeah, I agree. Everything's on the table. Pablo?
Do we have a pick this year for Orlando?
They don't. Actually, their pick is, I think it goes to the Hornets. I was looking at this today.
Oh, really?
Wow. Underline the storyline of this playing game.
It goes to, I'm sorry, actually, it goes to Memphis. Phoenix's pick goes to Hornets. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, they're, right now, Adai Mara's stock is oddly low, and so is the Arizona guy, Chris Voss, and so I was going to say, could be an interesting center pickup in the draft this year, but that doesn't seem to be a route that's possible. But yeah, I think trading. I was thinking about this last night. I think moving off guys early is completely a lost art in the NBA. Like, I think we've been me and Jack have been Paolo doubters for a couple of years now, and even if you were a Paolo optimist, there was always like a level of optimism attached to him that was too much. Like people were like, giant guy, he moves like LeBron. It's like, no, this dude has always been pretty slow, like physically. Like even if he was good, he's not like LeBron or whatever. And I feel like the time you could have identified, like, this isn't the most portable skill set, even when it is working. So, but his name value's really, really high. So we could really do something with this. So I don't know what his trade value is going to be going into this offseason. I'm going to imagine the Magic are going to be hesitant to move him, and they're going to do, like you guys said, let's get a new coach in here and see if that changes. And then if he struggles again, it's year one under new coach. They need time for development. Year two happens, and then it's just you go down this path. I think if you can strike with a trade, like if Milwaukee's like, hey, we're interested in Paolo or whatever, I think you do a Giannis trade for sure. I'm looking for any route because I really do believe in a lot of this Magic team. Like, I think Suggs and Black are two like legit championship infrastructure type players for a team.
For sure. Yeah.
I really like Tristan da Silva. I like I've been a Goga liker, but I don't know. He's kind of up and down all the time. But yeah, I can, and even Franz. Oh my God, I got mucus in my throat. I'm choking. Even Franz, I've never been a super.
Neocitrin. Sorry.
Whoa, nice! Oh my God, there's so many opportunities. Franz, I haven't been as big a believer in franchise Franz as other people, but I also still think he can be legit championship infrastructure as well, because he's a really good defender as well, and I think his offensive game can fit around other guys. So I really do think they could potentially plug in like a superstar into this roster and be good. If it's not Giannis, I don't know. Like, could this be a Kevin Durant destination? How would you
Oh
guys
my
feel
God.
about Kevin Durant for Paolo trade?
That's
If-
just that sounds insane to me. That's so funny.
Dude.
To your point about like the individually those guys making sense. I completely agree with you, and I agree that Suggs and Black are like, I would love to have those guys on the Toronto Raptors, to be honest with you, like as guys to work off of Scotty Barnes. I was looking at this a couple of weeks ago, just because Scotty is not having a very good shooting season. He's like 30% from three this year, and he's above 1,000 3-point attempts in his career at about 30%. And I'm like, okay, who else has done that? Like 1,000 attempts, 30% from three,
Yeah.
and then became a good shooter, or at least a decent shooter. The
Is
only
it a
answer,
long list?
no, it's not that long of a list. The only two answers that pop out are Aaron Gordon and Kelly Oubre. Like those two guys became good shooters. But outside of that, it's rough. And also, Franz is on that list, Paolo Banchero is on that list, and Jalen Suggs is on that list right now of guys
Yeah.
who have taken over 1,000 threes and are hovering at around 30% from three. Like, you just
One's
can't
gotta
do
hit.
that. One of those guys has to shoot, and shoot
Yeah.
consistently. And like, if you can't get that from either of them, it's just so hard to build around, So
Yeah, and we should. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's like not a double-edged sword, but like there's enough blame to go around, I guess, because Jamal Mosley is really bad at like coach. Like, I'm not that smart when it comes to NBA coaching, but watching the offense that they were running, it's like
it's insane.
Game is getting away from them, and it's like, Desmond Bane, you would save us, save the season, please. Is really rough to watch, and so yeah, like, part of it is Mosley's fault, but then at the same time, yeah, for all three of those guys to be so bad at shooting, there's no Bane season that could have fixed that. Like, Bane could have been like an MVP level guy, and it still would have been pretty rough offensively, I feel like. And so, yeah, I don't know. This isn't the Magic segment, but I do just think they will have one of the more dynamic off seasons. We can phrase it that way, I guess. But assuming the Hornets win tomorrow, fingers crossed, because I think that would be the much more entertaining first round series. Pistons Hornets. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I can't wait. That would be awesome. I think it has potential to be like a low key 7-game series, and we've gotten a few of those in the last like decade or so of 1 versus 8 that goes 7. I think of Boston Chicago once that happened, right, Pablo? Right? I think I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah, the 08 Celtics, yeah.
Yes,
or no,
right.
09.
09?
I think it was.
Right,
Wait,
right.
and I
Okay,
think
and that-
didn't those Celtics go 7 with Atlanta as well, like the Joe Johnson?
They
Atlanta
did,
Hawks?
yes,
They did,
in the first
yeah.
round.
Yeah. Which that sounds awesome to me. I think there's a chance for that to happen. We've had a few of those though, like something that goes 6 or 7. That's like a 7-game series. Obviously, the Heat beating Milwaukee a few years ago. I know that went 6 instead of 7, but just something to think about. But I don't think the Pistons will get upset in this, but I do think the Hornets are, in a way, the antidote to what Detroit can do. And the 3-point shooting, the 3-point volume, it can come back to haunt you a little bit from Detroit's perspective. That might be the greatest equalizer for them. But Detroit can lean on their physicality, their awesome rebounding, their tenacious defense, and just forcing turnovers against this Hornets team will be more than enough, because they are a turnover heavy team. Like LaMelo and Brandon Miller and those guys, they cough up the ball very easily. So I think it'll be close, but I would very easily pick the Pistons in most of these simulations that we would do, So.
Yeah, I agree. I would say Pistons probably in like 6, it feels like, just because there is such an explosive nature to the Hornets offense, where it's like it feels like the game can get away from you kind of quickly when you're playing the Hornets if everybody's hitting their shots. But yeah, Detroit, I don't know, like just when you see how Miami was able to find success against Charlotte, it feels like Detroit can turn a lot of those sliders all the way up. And then when you look at like how the Hornets, like Musa Diabate was able to grab like 8 offensive rebounds in that playing game. That's probably not going to happen against Detroit. And just a lot of those different, I don't know, like margins. I think Detroit would be a lot cleaner on than Miami was in that game. And so, yeah, I just think I'm very happy. It's like it feels very rare that we get an 8 seed that is legitimately probably one of like the 10 best teams in the league over the past 40 games. Like they've been incredibly productive and successful. And so how much of like how reflective of that or is that of their championship potential? Maybe not 100%, but yeah, I'm very happy that we could get this matchup. I really hope Charlotte pulls it out tomorrow night.
The Hornets are kind of freaking epic. When they're hitting threes at home, I was like, "Oh my god, this is like Golden State vibes, kind of from way back in the day." I was like, "Jesus Christ!"
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very interesting clash because I could see a world where they just hit everything and we just blow the Pistons off the court, and I can see a world where the Pistons are just like, "Oh, Brandon Miller, your shoulders wrapped up. Let me punch you." Boom, LaMelo, your freaking oblique is exposed to me. Boom, like and oh Khan, you're a scared little young fish in the sea. I'm a shark. And then they like their entire game is just thrown off. Diabate, we just beat the crap out of him in the paint, and he can't get offensive rebounds. So it'll be very interesting to me because it's a very slight team, and so I think physicality could really make an impact there. But I do think the Hornets are more fun, so I might be rooting for the Hornets. But yeah, this definitely going to be a great series. And if it does go 7, we're going to get in the Bulls series back in the day, we were getting Ray Allen, Ben Gordon duels dropping 40. So maybe it'll be a similar vibe. Someone's going to beat the Ben Gordon. It'll be Khan. It'll be Miller. Hey, it was Kobe in the play-in. So
Truly, yeah.
I'm feeling good about this series.
This is one of those series, and I'm trying to find the last time that a 1 versus 8 went 7. It might actually just be that Celtics Bulls series, but there's something to like maybe Charles Lee Cooks in this series too, because I think there's holes that you can poke at with the Pistons offense. Like we're gonna dare Asar Thompson. I can't remember his name for some reason. Asar Thompson to shoot. We're gonna dare Kevon Herter, as they call him, to shoot.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a throwback. But yeah, like daring those guys to shoot and be offensively responsible for something, I think will be something Detroit deals with throughout the postseason. But the Hornets are specifically tasked, and they can kind of poke at things a little bit better just because of how dominant they are offensively. That's the way you match the possession battles and what have you. But I don't know. Maybe that's the way we get a closer series, is like the other guys for Detroit don't show up in the way that you want them to. And yeah, you now have Cade versus everybody. And if Cade is good enough to beat the Hornets by himself, I think, but just it'll be a tough series. Yeah.
It would be.
Are you keeping 2 on him at all times, or are you daring the rest of the guys to beat me 1-on-1?
That's like the age old question when it's like one of these Helio.
That's the question with every series, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when it comes to Cade, who I think is maybe outside of like Luka, although Luka has Austin Reeves, but he's the biggest Helio player in the NBA right now, like heliocentric, and that's kind of outdated, right? We don't really see that much Helio basketball anymore. Teams have gone to more like an egalitarian offense where the ball touches multiple hands and there's a lot of cutting actions and disguising different things to get guys open. The Pistons are just like, you have to try and stop Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren pick and roll. And if you can't stop Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren pick and roll, you're not going to win the series. But maybe it's just like we're packing the paint. Jalen Duren is not going to catch any lobs. And if we have to live off Cade Cunningham pull up mid-range jump shots, so be it. Let's see it, you know? I would probably I'd send 2-3 to the ball and just hope Tobias Harris and Asar Thompson and those guys don't hit enough shots. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's unreasonable because, I mean, I don't know. The other part of me, I guess, is just like, I do worry about, like, if somebody says, Cade, beat us with your scoring. I feel like that's the way to, like, get into a real fight in the mud, I guess, if you are going against the Pistons. Is like
That's where
take
he's
away.
comfortable, though. He'll go for 50. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I guess we know he'll empty the clip, and I love it. Yeah, but at the same time, I do like. I'm very prepared for the floor that Cade Cunningham displays in some of these games. I'm sure we'll get some high highs, especially given the Hornets. Like their defense is probably more porous than it graded out over the back half of the season. But yeah, I think at the same time, if it doesn't come in this Hornets series, I do think at some point in this postseason there will be some very ugly Cade Cunningham shooting splits. And
I found it.
What's the 7?
The 7, yes, the latest 7. It was the 2014 Spurs who won the championship. They got pushed to 7 by the Mavericks in round 1.
Oh,
this was a series. Yeah, Monte Ellis dropped 20. He was averaging 20 on them. Dirk averaged 20. Great Vince Carter series.
I remember this because I used to get into online arguments about the Spurs sometimes, and that Mavs series fucked their net rating. Their net rating, it's already like incredible, but that's that Mavs series. Like after the first round, they're like plus 30 net rating on everybody. Yeah. But the Mavs pushed them, and it brought the average down a lot. So, yeah. Shout out to that 2014 team. That's beautiful, beautiful basketball.
Wow.
Pablo, do we have, I guess, just Pistons requests? We can look, if someone sent Magic or Hornets requests, I guess we could take a peek at them. But what do we got?
Well, we do have one from Orlando, and this is from the Orlando Magic Truther. And they said, hello, J&P. If we send a tactical nuke to the Kia Center, will that motivate the team to play better? I've been having an ongoing debate with a friend that this team will not be significantly better, even if they had a better coach. What are your thoughts on the future of the Magic, considering Mosley will most likely be fired and the front office will likely rock with his big three for at least one more year? Is there any hope for the future, or is this team doomed to be the new feisty 8th seed? Thanks and love the pod. P.S. Not basketball related, but what are your guys' most anticipated movies coming out this summer? Mine are the new Spider-Man and the Odyssey movie. Shout out the AMC A-lister subscription. So
I forgot to bring this up.
Oh, they did a price increase. We answered the question naturally in talking about the Magic, so just the movie part.
Yeah.
Movies for me this summer. I mean, yeah, the Odyssey is the big one. The Steven Spielberg Alien movie looks cool.
Oh,
oh, and we got it. There's a new Jackass movie coming out this June. So,
yes,
I'll definitely be seeing that. That's a perfect summer movie. Oh man.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think that's actually dropping like a week or two before the Odyssey, something like that. Which is
peak. My life will be so great this summer.
Perfect entertainment. Yeah, I agree. The Odyssey for sure. I know this isn't a summer movie, but I'm very locked in on Dune. Can't wait for Dune 3. Very excited for that. Spider-Man.
When is that going to be?
I think December.
Yeah, I think it's because it was gonna be Dune and the new Avengers movie. We're gonna like butt heads. Yeah,
I think they're still doing that. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I think Avengers folded. I think Disney moved some stuff around so they could move Avengers back because they didn't want the smoke with Dune.
Wow. But I'm excited for that. Yeah.
When is that dinosaur movie is Anne Hathaway in it?
September.
Oh, yes. That looks cool.
Okay, the end of Oak Street or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's going to be good. That's going to be very good. Also, Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, right? That's what it is?
Yes. Yeah, that's the two.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do
if that
they
sucks,
have
I'll be pissed.
Do they have AMC in Canada or no?
They used to have them. They don't have them anymore. There used to be one, and it used to be fire. It was a really, really cool movie theater, but they don't have it anymore. It closed down, unfortunately. So I got.
Do you have
I got
any
Imagine
kind of movie
Cinemas.
subscription?
I need to get one. Honestly, every single time I have this conversation, someone reminds me that I need
a lot
to
of
get
movies.
This. I probably spend thousands of dollars at the movie theater. So I really
Are you
I
getting
really
popcorn and a drink?
I'm
every
single-handedly saving the movie industry. But yeah, I definitely need to get that subscription because you get free popcorn, right? Or you get like 20% off popcorn and drinks as well.
At AMC, it's half off a large popcorn every day. If you pay $30 a year, you get a half off a large popcorn every day. I don't know what it's like for Imagine Cinemas or whatever.
Sure, that's so fire. Wow.
Dude,
Oh
I
my
meant to
God.
bring this up. The Sixers minority owner, Adam Aaron, is the CEO of AMC Theaters. So I'm rooting on the Sixers' downfall because he increased my subscription price by $2
Yeah.
recently.
I would root for them to fail as well for that. Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah.
That
Damn.
bastard, dude. They just raised it a year ago, but at least that time they added a fourth movie. It used to be 3 movies a week, now it's 4. You can't if every price increase must include another movie.
You're not shipping anything, dude. It's
All
the tariffs, the oil,
exactly.
none of it factors in.
This is why the Costco owner is based. That hot dog has been $1.50 for 75 years. You know, never
Oh,
changed. Changing
All right.
quality.
Changing. I don't be eating Costco hot dogs like that. Do you reminisce on like 2002? You're like, damn, these used to be fucking. The snap in the casing disappeared.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Costco.
All right.
Okay. Detroit
Pistons.
Pistons question. The Trom Stoner said, "What's up? How deep do you think the playoff rotation will be for Detroit? Can we expect to see B-Ball Paul or Marcus Sasser minutes, or will we keep things tighter than my ex-wife?" And then he said, "Pause for laughter."
Okay. Don't talk about women like that, dude.
Facts.
Anyways, gotta go. TTYL.
What do you think? I'm thinking B-Ball Paul, yes. Marcus Sasser, no. If I had to guess.
I don't think any of them play unless there's foul trouble.
I think there will be foul trouble. That's my thoughts with Paul Reed. But yeah, Marcus Sasser now. But I mean, yeah, ideally in a perfect world, no to either of them.
Yeah,
well,
I'm
Danius
just looking at it
Jenkins
right
just
now.
stole his job, right?
He took his job, and ran with it. Cade, Duran, Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, Isaiah Stewart, that's 5. Asar Thompson, that's 6. Danius Jenkins, 7. Herter, 8. Levert still gets minutes for that team, 9. And then, that's it. Like, Javonte Green is even ahead of those guys, right? Javonte Green is ahead. I don't know. I feel like I've seen more Javonte Green than Marcus Sasser this year.
Yes, I agree there. Yeah. Especially Karis LeVert, if they start doing if you need an extra ball handler out there, they're probably spinning the Karis wheel a couple times, I guess.
That's good. I'd never heard of that, but that's awesome. Karis
it's
wheel.
Pablo's. I don't want to take credit for it.
No, I didn't invent this. This is an NBA Twitter thing. The Karis wheel. There was like a tweet, and they were like, "It's like Karis wheel, or it's like Karis LeVert spins a wheel before every game, and he plays like whoever he selects. And the worst player in the league is on the wheel, but Michael Jordan is also on the wheel." So that was the thing. Okay, let's do this one from Yash Kumar. "Hey fellas, long-time caller, first-time listener here. Wanted to get your opinion on why more people don't talk about how John Mason, the Pistons PA guy, is the basis for the hit BET sitcom Martin. Like, isn't that insane? Also, want to ask your thoughts on our white boys, TM, being our best shooters and if that's sustainable come playoffs. Thanks, and shout out Psych 2006. And then he also commented, wanted to amend my earlier question and state that Martin aired on Fox, not BET. I swear I'm not an asshole for that mistake. I just grew up watching reruns on BET.
Me too, bro. Me too. All right. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I had it on Peachtree TV. I don't know. Yeah, Peachtree TV. You guys
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was
That's
like the
Canadian
Atlanta. It was the Atlanta TV station. For some reason, they had a dedicated channel here in Toronto. Peachtree TV. Yeah. I love Martin. I did not know that it was based on the Pistons guy. Had no idea. I kind of want to watch it again, knowing that. But
I've never watched it. I
What
remember
could this guy have been up to? I don't.
Scheming.
I guess. What's Martin about? I thought it was just like kind of friends pilled or whatever.
Yeah, it is friends pilled, but he's a radio host in Detroit, and that's kind of like his life as he goes through Friends type stuff. So
nice. Hell yeah! People used to have jobs. That's so like
jobs.
every sitcom you go back and watch. It's like I have a job, and it's a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
And now,
although the Friends people had fake jobs, bro, like
paleontologist.
Wow. Okay.
Oh man, yeah. I'm a chef. I'm a paleontologist.
The Raptors guy saying paleontology doesn't matter. Wow, great look. Your team doesn't exist without their work.
Without paleontology. That's true. You're not wrong.
I guess.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
they would be called what are they? The warthogs or something? They were supposed to be called the.
Is that
that
true?
sucks.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
there warthogs in Toronto?
I don't know, man. Never met one. I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. Because every time the Raptors, it was just for Jurassic Park, right? Like
Yes.
Jurassic,
Yeah.
that's based. We should do
Fire.
more of that where it's like, it's got nothing really to do with the city, but
Dude,
it's cool.
Vegas Dune.
Oh, that would be kind of sick.
The guy
I wouldn't
Eves.
mind that. The guy Eves.
The guy Heaps.
Where are we at with Duncan Robinson? Has it been a while since he's performed in the playoffs, or is he in like every good year, bad year type of guy? I don't really have it.
I don't know. Let me pull it up. So he was really shut down the last couple of years in Miami. Last year he was 15 minutes per game. He averaged 4 points. The year before that, he was 12 minutes a game. He averaged 3 points. So yeah, hasn't really had a significant role since the finals run in 2023. But I don't know. In that finals run, he was 44% on 5 attempts a game from
He was
3.
awesome. Yeah.
So like, I'm not like terrified of the prospect of him being out there. I'm more so terrified of like, there's not a lot of insulation for him to have a poor shooting game or series. Because then, like we've talked about with Asar and everybody else, it's just, there's not a ton of spacing on this team if he's going to have an off night. And Herter, I would say I'm more concerned. Like, I don't know if I fully buy into like Kevin Herter's a significant part of the playoff rotation.
Yeah. They just need him. Like, they need like the 2 threes a game or whatever. That would be awesome if Kevin Herter could give them 2 threes a game. And like, Duncan Robinson this season has been good for them. He's taken 7 attempts, which is like pretty healthy for just like an off the catch dude. 41%. I think he'll be okay. I think like Cade just generates so many quality shots for guys. It's just about cashing them. So he'll be fine. I think. I feel like he'll be okay. Tobias Harris though. That's the guy to wonder about.
Okay.
Ponder about.
What
I'm
is
not
he at
wondering.
this
He
year?
probably just won't be good.
Let's see what Tobias Harris is doing this year. Tobias Harris this year, 13, 5, and 2 on 47% from the field, 37% from 3. Not bad actually, but
No, I don't buy that. So 37% on 3.5 attempts a game. I would say that's like the biggest volume percentage ratio you could get where I'm still like, that's fake. That's not real.
he was awesome against the Knicks last year though. He shot like 50% from 3 or something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I have it here. I don't know why I'm saying that. 44%.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll probably like. I liked them in this specific first round matchup. I think they're good enough for the flaws to not really matter as much. But further down the line, it's going to be tough to overcome them. I think. Was that 3 requests, Pablo?
That was, we did some Pistons ones. Here's one Hornets one. Hello, Jack Pablo and Matthew Spanauer. I'm from the future, so I know the guest speaker is Matt, and that the Hornets beat the Pistons in the first round. Yeah, nice try, jackass. My question is, do you think the Hornets going past the second round would be more helpful or hurtful for the team's future? Parentheses, plus Jack, you should read Red Rising. It will change your life. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bro, is this a guy? There's been a guy DMing me for weeks on Twitter, being like, "Read
Talking about
Red
Red Rising.
Rising."
That's definitely him. Definitely him. 100%.
Hey, shout out to you. And maybe
Also,
I
I
will.
wish-
I got
I wish I like knew Matt Spawnhour's like voice more to try and replicate. You know,
He's pretty deadpan. I don't know. He's hard to do because like
It's a
tendency
very
to
tame
just-
John Gruden. I've realized that because they're both from Ohio. He's if he were to be wackier, he would sound like John Gruden.
That's awesome.
There you go.
can't
I
do it.
guess. Yeah.
No.
I don't take a swing
Don't
on
attempt
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on board with like as deep a run as possible for this Hornets team because I feel like there's nothing. I guess the only thing that like you might find out more about is what to do with Brandon Miller, how comfortable you are like really locking him in as a piece of this team moving forward. But you already know you need a better player in Miles Bridges' position. I feel like you probably want, I don't know, Kalk has been like up and down. You probably want a more consistent big man off the bench.
Year
than him.
one, jerk. Year one.
Hey! Too big to fail. He's on the agenda. I'm just
Isn't
talking
he
about
like 30? Isn't Ryan Kalkbrenner like?
Good-
30 years old?
he's probably 24, and he's got one of the highest field goal percentages in the NBA.
He is 24. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on board. Second round, like make as far of a run as you can, and just learn all that you can about like the warts of this team because having no playoff experience for so long, and now kind of being in a position where, you know, if they're this good next year, I expect them to be like a solid, like a top 6 seed probably
right.
if they don't bullshit for the first 20 games. So yeah, this should be a learning experience.
They have like $60 million in expiring salary this summer. Or, sorry, next summer. This summer.
Okay.
This summer.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like Miles Bridges will have 1 year left on his deal.
Ew.
Yeah, whatever. Green and then Grant Williams also have like $30 million in combined salary. You're right. They have to extend Brandon Miller probably to the rookie scale max.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I have no
Probably,
idea.
and-
To be
Probably
honest.
to the rookie
That's a
scale
little
max.
uncomfortable, but you probably are going to have to.
But you're probably. I wonder if it's like one of those like Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams things where it's like no accelerators. This is just raw dog rookie scale max.
How much would this be per year? Do you know? Is it like 30s? Is it 40s?
No, I think it's in the 40s. Yeah, it's like 46. I want to say.
Oh, okay. That's a little rich.
Hold on. Let's see. What did Paolo?
He better
get?
be Paul George. Paolo was I think 240 for 5 years. I want to say.
Paolo, his starting salary was 41. It escalates all the way up to 54. So yeah, something like $45 million a year. 45.
God damn, bro.
And I'll tell you what, you don't want to pay Brandon Miller. I know a guy who'd be pretty excited to join the Hornets. I've seen some messages from group chats where he was really praising the young core, and he said, "I'd rather be there than where I am now."
Giannis? Is that who you're talking about? No.
No, it's get off my Dickerson. That's who I'm freaking talking about.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For when you started, I was like, is he talking about like Isaiah Thomas? Like who's trying to like break back into the league? What's going on right now? Yeah.
But they do have a lot of expiring salary. They have to pay Brandon Miller. They also have to pay Moussa Diabate. But I feel like this is a team that could make a splash if they want to. Like they have all of their picks. They have a couple of additional picks too. I don't know. You could see them making a big swing. They also have to sign Kobe White if they want to.
Shoot.
Oh, I don't
They
know if they're
should do
gonna.
that.
I wonder
Damn.
if he would. How expensive is he gonna be? Is he gonna? I think
I've made
he
this joke
wanted
like 7
25?
times. But like, if I were Kobe White, I would pull up with Emmanuel Quickly's contract and be like, "How dare you? How dare you? Look at this number.
Oh,
Give me
man.
exactly on the dotted line this, or
Oh,
I'm
man.
leaving." Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Every shooting guard pulling up with like Zach LaVine's contract. Being
Oh,
like, I think I should get it. I'm sorry.
This is what I want. Yeah.
Brandon Miller pulling up with the Keegan Murray contract. You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm only asking for this.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Is that it for the Hornets Pistons?
We can move on. Yeah.
Okay.
executive decision. There were still questions, but I shut them down because I run a tight ship.
Nice. Oh, we didn't even talk about Khan being ass lately. That'll probably matter in the first
Whoa,
round, guys.
we'll see.
Oh, we ran out of time. Sorry, guys. Couldn't get to it. Oh no. All right. 110. Let's do Knicks Hawks. Let's save Raptors Cavs for the end though. Knicks Hawks. S. What do you think? What do you think? I'm excited for this series. What do you think about Knicks
Should be
Hawks?
good. I've been a little bit of a Hawks hater over the last couple months. I'm not gonna lie to
Okay,
you.
jerk. Never mind.
You know
What? Just because
Sorry.
they beat up on bums? Someone's got to beat them.
Actually, yeah,
you gotta win
kinda.
you gotta beat the bad teams, dude. Come on.
I covered the Toronto Raptors. Talk about beating bad teams. That's all they did this year.
I swear I've seen like 5 tweets from you where it's like updated record 30-0 against the Tankers. We lost to everyone else.
Yeah. They're 42-0 against everybody else, and then bad. The Hawks have beat up on a lot of easy teams. That's my kind of like skepticism about this whole thing. But I do think they pose an intriguing problem against the Knicks just because their defense is a lot of fun. I was looking at this earlier just for Raptors purposes, but of 5-man groups that have played over 150 possessions together, the Hawks starting lineup without Trey, obviously, like their new starting lineup is has the 3rd or 4th best defensive rating. So they lock up and they defend in at a high level. Obviously, the wings and just being able to switch everything, I think will pose a lot of problems for Karl Anthony Towns, for Jalen Brunson. And I guess I'm just curious how much that could stymie what the Knicks want to do offensively and like just make it hard on them to score. Because on the other side, I don't necessarily know how the Hawks will score in the half court. I have a lot of questions about their ability to generate good shots in the half court. Even in that Knicks-Hawks game towards the end of the regular season, you could tell there was just a massive gap in shot creation talent in the half court. I'm excited to see how Jalen Johnson looks as like the number 1 guy on a team. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is like my one of my favorite players in the league. So it's cool to watch him become like the MIP, but I don't know. I think it will be competitive because of the defense, but I see some people saying there's some low-key upset potential here. I don't necessarily see that. I think the Knicks will win, but it will be competitive.
Yeah. I think there's just like a lot of important margins where the Knicks are better. Like I don't know. When I think about this Hawks team in the clutch, because like what you're saying about the Hawks defense is true. And if I'm a Knicks fan, I am pretty nervous because we do have like a very like half the season where Brunson has not been himself as like number 1 option scorer. Like he's been 24 points per game, 56% true shooting since he sprained his ankle in January. That's like 37 games. And so I think like stuff like that. Yeah, I am nervous if I'm a Knicks fan. But then at the same time, as long as the games are close, the Knicks have still been, or at least Brunson individually has still been like very solid in the clutch, the way you expect him to be and everything. And I don't know necessarily if the Hawks have the capacity to go back and forth in that regard, if the game slows down, if they're not getting out in transition as much. And so, yeah, I would say like entertaining. Yes, upset value. I'm still gonna go the Knicks for now. Like it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if they lost, I guess. But I do think there's still like a talent gap here. Pablo, what do you think?
I'm more optimistic for the Hawks. I think this is going to be a really competitive series, and I could see it going like down the wire. It's very interesting because so these teams they matched up twice. So they played 3 times. Twice was before the big Hawks trade, so it was different teams, so not really canon for this. And then most recently, really at the end of the season. So April basketball is fake unless Bryce Sensabaugh is having an explosion game.
Yeah, that's right.
So the can't really take anything from that. But yeah, it's an interesting battle of the Hawks being the best. The best, if not one of the best transition teams in the NBA. And then the Knicks are one of the best offensive rebounding teams. So you see that dynamic. You're like, oh, who's going to win the freaking struggle there? And I honestly, I don't know, because I'm worried about the Hawks in the half court because I'm like, oh, is Jalen Johnson in a playoff setting? Do I trust that? But I'm also fundamentally disgusted by the defensive pairing of Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. So I think there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff that goes on in this matchup. First off, we talk a lot on here about Mikal Bridges and how his body type
not a
interacts
good matchup.
with other players. So, like, you know how people are like, well, Luka's a bad matchup for Mikal. He's just a little too thick for him. Oh, but Trey, it's just not an ideal matchup for him. He's a little too small and a little too skittery. So let's go through it. Do you think is Jalen Johnson a good matchup for Mikal Bridges?
No, he's not.
Oh,
No.
shoot.
Anybody
Okay.
else? Is there? Are you right?
Yeah. So could he get on Nikhil? They're both spindly. Could that work?
Maybe.
When I was doing my notes, I wrote down of like the average response to this question. Nikhil Alexander Walker is closer to a good matchup for Mikal than like the average NBA player.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like okay, I could kind of see it there.
Yeah,
I
you
guess,
squint
yeah.
and you can see it type. Yeah, I guess so. I guess like just keep him on Dyson Daniels. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Well, how about CJ? Because CJ has surprisingly become very important for this team.
Yeah.
Can he stymie the CJ revolution?
Too much meat on his bones. No way.
Oh,
not
shoot.
Not a chance.
Okay.
Nope.
But
Not gonna happen.
the Dyson thing. So yeah, part of the interesting dynamic with these teams is that in the recent matchup, Karl Anthony Towns guarded Dyson Daniels, or he was matched up with him 32 times, and what that means is he was like, "Screw you, go ahead and shoot, you idiot. I'm going to be roaming in the paint."
I remember when he said that. That was a big deal.
Yeah, and then but the Hawks. Well, so what are the Hawks going to do here? Are they? Well, first of all, who are we sticking Dyson on? Are we going Brunson?
No, I would put Nikhil on Brunson. How do you guys feel about that?
I was wondering. He has a bigger offensive load now. So is that going to hurt
that's
his
true.
potential at doing what he did against the Nuggets that one year?
I feel like no. I don't know. He's been guarding the number one guys on teams a lot this year, and I feel like it hasn't mattered in terms of his offensive output. And to the point about the Hawks offense, I think they do a pretty fun. It's actually a lot of fun to watch, where it's like the back cuts and Dyson, and that's where you could put pressure on Karl Anthony Towns, where it's like Cat is going to lose track of where Dyson is roaming on the corner, and back cut galore for him to be able to just like, oh, I got back cut again. Damn, sorry guys, my bad. And then there's looks and stares as they head towards the timeout huddle. It's like, man, I'm so tired of this guy.
God. Mikal's just sprinting everywhere, chasing CJ down, and then I would say more than the offensive load question, I'm a little nervous about Nikhil foul trouble guarding Brunson. Like if you run him the whole time, and that's one of those things where like I think Dyson on Brunson, even if you don't start with him, like if Nikhil gets into foul trouble, I do think it would be pretty easy to pivot towards Dyson Daniels based defense, and so I think both are like good options. I had operated under the assumption that Dyson would start or would guard Brunson primarily, but I don't know. I just now that we're talking it through, I guess I'd be fine with either.
So if Hart has shooting struggles this series, he becomes an interesting piece. Do you do what the Knicks do? Do you throw a Kongwu on him and just have him roam off, or are you using him to hide CJ?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I got lost. There's too many layers.
So Josh Hart, if he doesn't shoot, you can stick a defender on him and roam off, or theoretically, Onyeka Kongwu, or theoretically, you could say, God, CJ sucks on defense. Let's put him on there and hide him, because like we used to hide Trey. What are we doing with that point?
It's a great question. I would probably still go with the big and then force CJ to, Because who would CJ guard in this scenario? I guess maybe Mikhail, right?
Yeah.
Right? And
Probably.
and like Mikhail he's pretty good at like the back cuts. He's okay with the off ball movement, but he's not like putting his body into you and like chest to chest trying to get contact. So I feel like CJ would do okay.
I would also be worried about CJ boxing out Josh Hart. Like, I feel like that could be somewhere where Hart finds a lot of success. So yeah, I would go Kongwu on Hart if Hart's not shooting well. But he's had a pretty solid shooting season, hasn't he? It's been like a good regular year for him.
But yeah, I think it's still
teams still do it against him,
volume.
but it's one of those things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sabonis spacing. That's what we call that. Yeah, so I'd go Okongwu on him, I guess. I'm also just worried about like Okongwu. This is not a huge team when you think about like Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns both out there, or one of them out. Like, you always have one of them out there, much less both. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a hot take about that. I just think it's going to be pretty tough for Atlanta to like get a ton of rebounds in this series.
This is a fan base that when Christian Coloco joined the team, they're like, "This is it. We've taken the leap." And then he was injured after 5 games.
I also am very excited to watch Jalen Johnson versus OG, because that's like immovable object versus unstoppable force type of thing, where Jalen Johnson is trying to dunk on every single person that he ever sees, and then OG is just, I mean, like a brick wall, literally, in terms of how he guards guys. So I think that's a pretty big matchup too. How good does Jalen Johnson look as like the number 1 guy on a team? I know they run things differently, and again, they are very spread out and even when it comes to their offense. Nobody has like the craziest high usage type scoring, but at least it's worth considering how Jalen Johnson will look in his first playoff run, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. Yeah, especially with Mitchell Robinson on the back line. Like, that's a real half-court test for a guy like that. OG picking you up, and then Mitchell Robinson on the back line. So, yeah, I am interested in how it goes. I don't know. I don't know. Pablo,
what's your predictions on this thing? Do you guys all say Knicks, or are you?
I'm going Knicks in 6, I would say.
I would as well. I think so. Yeah.
I'm going 7. And I think it's kind of a toss-up for me. So I'll reveal it. I'll reveal it when there's 2 minutes left in Game 7. I'll give my pick.
Okay, I like it. That's good.
No, that is good. It's a Schrodinger situation. We don't know right now. It's both and it's neither.
Yep. Could be huge. Let's see if we got. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks, because there's only one. The order of pacism. Everyone is talking about crazy upset potential in the East, but as the most cynical basketball podcast, do you think any of these have merit? I think the Hawks have the strongest chance, but I'd rank them pretty low. Parentheses, I'm not a Hornets optimist.
I would say this is the strongest potential, but...
Do you think stronger than Hornets over Pistons?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like, everybody kind of talks about the Pistons, like, not like they're a gimmick team, but like they're kind of one-dimensional, and then you play them, and no matter who's out, like, they still just win by like 15 points a lot of times. So yeah, I would say this is the strongest, but I'm still like leaning Knicks right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would lean Knicks too, and I probably am a little bit more of a Hawks pessimist than most. So I would probably go like Knicks in 6, with a chance to maybe be 5, depending on how the Hawks feel. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really harsh on the Hawks.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. I don't know. I think it'll be competitive at the very least. The games will be competitive and fun, but maybe not the series. I don't know if there's upset potential for Sixers Celtics at all.
Yeah.
And maybe this next series, but yeah, we'll see.
Maybe this was written if Embiid was playing, I could see maybe like the hopium angle, I guess. But yeah, now with everything we know, I'm gonna say no there. Knicks questions.
Okay, this is from the Collective, as in Tyler Kolek. I see a lot of dialogue about how the Knicks are going to lose to the Hawks because of the Trae Young series, when in reality, the Knicks were starting NPCs back in the day. As a Knicks fan, what should I expect out of the wing matchup? Atlanta seems very wing dependent, and the Knicks are kind of designed to shut down wings like those in Boston. I feel like Jalen Johnson and Nah will have a hard time against our defense. Are the Knicks doomed to their classic six-game series, or will they finally be able to dispatch a team quickly? Or am I delusional and should be worried?
I feel like we talked about that. I feel like we hashed that out a little bit, right? The Wings have a very, very, I think like Jalen Johnson particularly, they have a very hard test going up against the Wings that the Knicks have. Nikhil on the other side, though, I feel like he could get his game off.
Bronson, get up here, pal.
Get over here. Let's cook. Let's figure it out. And then on the other side, I feel like CJ McCollum is one of those guys who could, in my Bill Simmons bag right here, but like he could go off for 20 in a series and it could look a little bit differently, you know?
Yeah. I will say anybody bringing up the Trae Youngs, I love that where it's like these two teams is anybody left from either of those rosters at this point?
Onyeka was there, I think.
Yeah,
backing up John Collins or whatever. So it's funny. I love that people do that, but I don't know if it has any real merit at this point.
This is from New York Nick, and NICK. Hello, Booba and Kiki. I don't know what that's a reference to. I hope you're doing well. From my perspective, this has to be a series where Cat plays well. In the first game he played against the Hawks, he did not know Onyeka could shoot threes. Almost as if he did not read the scouting report. Curious. Anyways, who are your three most important players in the series, both teams, and how many games will this series go? Well, we said how many games we think it will go. Let's start with Cat. So, how big of a will the Okongwu shooting threat exist in this series?
I'm going to say yes.
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will. I think he's gotten consistent enough to where it will matter, and they will have to guard him out there.
Damn. How many attempts per game do you guys think he was taking this year?
I know he's had some explosions, but I feel like the volume's not that big. Is he at like 5?
4, 5? Yeah.
5.2. That's more than I expected, to be honest. So, yeah, 38% on 5 attempts a game. It is something that could disappear, I guess, but I do think we'll at least get individual games where he hits a couple early and then Cat's kind of overthinking the closeouts and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be a factor. But I do agree. I think Towns is a big X factor here for me, where you see a smaller team and it's like, okay, physicality should work here, but then Towns is Mr. Offensive Foul, Mr. Charge, or whatever. And so maybe that's something that rears its head in this matchup.
Will we see any Dyson on Towns this series, do you think?
I think maybe in post-up situations.
I think it's a switch they'd be fine with. Yeah. I don't know how much they'll scheme it in, but it's definitely possible. Because, I feel like that's one of again, when we talk about him getting charges or whatever, that's a very easy way to manufacture those.
They have to, Cat, I mean, the other part to this whole thing is they have to find a way, and this is beyond this series. They have to find a way to get Cat involved more frequently. He can't have halves where he's taking 4 shots,
Mm-hmm.
Just that's it's a two-way street. Cat needs to be more involved and more active and whatnot too. I agree with that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I went on a different pod a few weeks back where we graded the Deep 3. We graded every NBA season, and the guy on there is a Knicks fan. And when we were talking about the Knicks, he said, "I'm going to lose my mind if I get one more post-game press conference where Cat says, I'm trying to find my role still. I'm just trying to figure out, how I fit into this offense."
Oh man, Mike Brown, sleeper hot seat situation. Mike Brown.
Oh, who would they go for? Well, I suppose Billy Donovan. It could be possible. Is he a New York guy, or he's somewhere else on the East Coast, isn't he? But I could see him taking that job if it were to open up.
Billy Donovan is a Philly guy. Jersey? I don't know.
I'm not locked in. I don't know where anybody's from. I know Mike Malone was from there, but he went to UNC, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Is that 3? for the Knicks, or we got one
Yeah,
more?
we could move on.
Okay, good call. I like that game time decision. Okay, so that brings us to our last freaking matchup. Oh my god,
The main event.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cavs Crafters, baby. What do you? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. How are you feeling right
Walk
now?
us through it. I don't feel too great, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be an awesome series for the Raptors. I think like it's funny to say this as the 5 seed, but like they're playing with house money at this point. You know, they've made it to a top 6 spot in the Eastern Conference. I think Scotty Barnes has reaffirmed to many people that he's still a very good basketball player, all-star, potentially all-NBA.
Freaking robbed because they're handing out woke DEI all-NBA appearances now, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, man. I can't believe Anthony Edwards, I mean, even tried. Like, what do you think Ant's excuse was? You know? It's like,
It's exceptional. My knee hurts, dude. Come on.
Luka's missing it for the birth of his child. What do you know? What can I do?
Well, he got suspended. I don't want to be a jerk, but he got his 16th tech and he suspended himself. His baby had nothing to do with that. Get Scotty Barnes on the All-NBA teams, dude.
Yeah, crazy. But no, Scotty has like reaffirmed himself, I think, as a very, very good player in the NBA. The Brandon
He went to the
Ingram
Nutcracker on his off day.
He did. It was incredible. Shout out to him and Jamal Shed. Big fans of the Nutcracker. Great tunes from the Nutcracker, by the way. If you guys ever,
No, it's not on my Spotify.
it's dude, tap in. It's not bad. Not too
Is
bad.
it just for
Okay.
Christmas time or year round?
You could do year round. I could do Nutcracker in June. Not a problem.
Okay.
It's freaking 90 outside for me right now. I don't know how it would feel walking down the street bumping Nutcracker.
Yeah, you might sound like a psycho. I will say, like, I think most of the stuff that the Raptors wanted to happen happened this season. Brandon Ingram was super healthy. Scotty turned into an all-star, maybe all-NBA, probably all-defense guy. They got development from Jacoby Walter, who has looked very good. Colin Murray Boyles had a very, very good rookie season compared to, you know, what his role might be. Not a rookie of the year candidate or anything like that, but just in terms of sheer impact, it's been very impressive. So I think they've got most of what they wanted. Grady Dick, disappointing year. Doesn't feel like an NBA player anymore, unfortunately. Jakob Poeltl very hurt. RJ Barrett very hurt this season, and yet they still found a way to win 46 games. I think all of those are wins. That being said, they are probably going to get smoked in the series for a number of reasons. It comes down to Emmanuel Quickley is hurt right now, and they already are at a 3-point shooting disadvantage in this series, and losing their best and only pull-up shooter is just going to hurt them offensively in the half court and pick and roll situations, etc. I'm just wondering how competitive they'll try to make it. You know, like, will it be a quick 5-game series where they get one in Toronto because the crowd is lively and Evan Mobley doesn't want to play on that day? Or will it be a 6-game series where they really push the Cavs with their physicality and turnovers and whatever? I think for more than anything from the Raptors, it's just like, does this proof of concept work in a playoff setting? And if it doesn't, what parts need to be changed out this summer to make it eventually work in a playoff setting?
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great when I ask, what do you think about this series? And you start with like a eulogy for the season. It's like,
yeah, basically.
A lot of these were wins. A lot of these were wins.
All of these good things happen.
It's really a testing period. It's a trial thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
we're feeling it out.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, I felt like the end of a sports movie just there, where it's like Jacoby Walter moved on to be a rotation player for.
Grady Dick worked at a dealership in Lawrence, Kansas.
That's exactly how it felt like just now. Oh man,
it is. It's a tough, because I feel the same way, where it's like once you start kind of looking at both of these teams, and especially how the Cavs have played post Harden trade, they've been really good. Like they've been an offense that it will be very difficult for Toronto to keep up with. Even if they do like an admirable job defensively, this is just such a dynamic offensive team in Cleveland, between how good Donovan Mitchell's been this season, between the boost I think Harden has given both of the bigs when they've been on the floor together. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's I want Toronto to push them, but the quickly piece missing is very difficult, because then that's like one of those question marks where when he's playing, you can at least be like, maybe nuclear quickly gives us 27 or something, and it's a very fun matchup. But yeah, with him out, it's
he might play. I will say, just to like caveat all this, he might end up playing, and he's questionable for game 1, so I don't know, up in the air. It feels like he will play eventually in the series, but just if he's ready for game 1.
What is he out with?
He had plantar fasciitis for like the last month, and then on the final game of the season, tweaked his hamstring. So yeah,
we have to find a cure.
What's your we do. What's your confidence level in his defense if he does play? And how has he been in general? Because coming over from New York, he was a strong defender. I don't really know what's the status. Is that still your feeling?
I think his on-ball defense was very overrated in New York. And so that aspect, I think, hasn't been what was sort of promised, if you will. But the off-ball stuff has been really sharp, especially this season. He's been a big part of like the turnover generation, getting out and running, being really good, like a communicator on the back line when he's there. So like off-ball, I think he's actually been very, very good for this team defensively. But the on-ball stuff, it's just like Donovan Mitchell is going to put pressure on him, or James Harden with his size is just going to put pressure on him. So I don't know how much of a factor he'll be defensively, but just by knowing the replacement would be Jamal Shed, who would just get fried by those two.
I was going to ask, can he put either in the shed or no?
He cannot put either in the shed. It's unfortunate. It's tough. I feel like this is sort of my opinion, but maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, honestly. But I think by the end of it, Jamal is not playing rotation minutes for the Raptors in the playoffs.
Really? Like so even superstar side, are you just low on him defensively in totality?
Yeah, I'm low. I just like the size version. It just I can't see him succeeding size-wise against these guys. Like even against the Knicks with Jalen Brunson, he really struggled when Jalen put him in the post, and he just doesn't have the size to contest. It's one of those things. If he can't be the feisty defender that gets under you and forces turnovers, which he can be in certain matchups, it's hard for him to guard like starting all-star caliber players. He's not up for it defensively yet. So, yeah.
If I could guarantee you a Harden stinker series, like dastardly stinker, does that change the calculation for you at all, or you?
Cavs in 6,
did you already build that
I would
in?
say. Maybe Cavs in 6, Cavs in 7. I feel like they'll have one stinker game. It's still the Cavs after all, you know, and like all of those guys between Mobley and Jared Allen and Harden. Like there are questions, they will eventually have a dud. And so the Raptors will probably be able to steal a game. It just depends on that second game. Low key, I could see them stealing game 1. Like I could see Saturday afternoon game, 1 p.m. The Raptors just come in and they're physical, and the Cavs are maybe like sleeping and they've taken the week off, and the Raptors come in and steal game 1. That's probably the best case scenario for the Raptors. But
Problem
I agree with you guys.
that's the best Harden game always. Game like 1 or 2, he'll give you 40. So yeah, it is tough. I did like seeing all week. I've been Raptors fans and Cavs fans being like, Pirtle's gonna get bitched. No, Allen's gonna get bitched. like everybody's just got like their own big man that they don't like. And
I will say. Tough. This is there's some stock watch stuff here for the Raptors in terms of like, this is Scotty Barnes' first playoff series since he was a rookie, and like he's obviously a much better player than he was as a rookie. But if he has one of those series where he's so good defensively that the calculus just changes for the Cavs offensively, and I mean, I've seen him play against Cleveland before, but if he takes the Evan Mobley matchup and dominates that matchup, conversations will be had, if you say. But yeah, I think that's just one of those things where it's like stock watch. Like if Scotty proves that he can be a playoff performer, that's one of those things that I think the Raptors are watching out for. So
Yeah.
And so wait, I watched your video about the 3 factors of
yes.
of
Oh, I'm so
Cavs
sorry.
first rep.
That was long.
I was walking somewhere, so
Nice.
it was perfect.
Okay. All right.
And so you said Jacoby will get the Harden matchup. You think, right?
Depends on if IQ is available or not. But I think either Jacoby gets the Donovan Mitchell matchup or not. Now that I've thought about it a little bit, now that we've talked to Darko a little bit more, I feel like RJ is going to get the Harden matchup just because Harden is they have kind of like the similar body type, you know?
And he sees in lefty as well.
Yeah, he sees in lefty too, so he can do the lefty contest. That's a good point. But yeah, I think it'll probably be RJ on Harden, Jacoby on Donovan, and then Scotty Mobley, Jakob Allen, and who am I missing here in terms of starting lineups? Brandon Ingram versus Dean Wade, I guess.
Drippy Dean. Is
right.
there any hope that you could make this a series where Donovan Mitchell struggles to get to the rim, get in the paint, and you could hope for 3-point variance, or no?
No, I don't think so.
I appreciate the realism there. Thank you.
I mean, like I would try to cook up something for you, but no, I don't think that they'll. Like the only way that I could see that happening is if Jacoby Walter like grows a third arm, you know, and is somehow.
What are his strong suits defensively? Would you say
he's very quick laterally, but he is skinny relatively. So I'm wondering if Donovan Mitchell can kind of just bump him off the spot to draw fouls. That actually happened in one of their regular season matchups against them, where Jacoby fouled out against Donovan Mitchell, or he had like 5 fouls by the end of the game, but. That's the guy that they're going to throw on him. So big swing potential for Jacoby to guard Donovan and see how he does, because I don't necessarily know what else they could do to throw at him other than asking Scotty Barnes to play out of position defensively, which I'm afraid they probably will have to do. You know, the Raptors have succeeded a lot this season defensively with Scotty and CMB together. And they're just a 2-man wrecking crew. Switch everything. Let's muck up the game. Let's force turnovers. I am curious how much that will work against the Cavs' size, though, and just like all the lob threat stuff that they'll have. If you're switching those actions, you know, is Mobley going to be able to attack CMB? Probably not. But will that create advantages for Donovan Mitchell on the other side? So, yeah, questions to be had about how this team gets any stops. But if they can. My friends, if they can be physical, if they can muck up the game, the Raptors will win the series.
Whoa.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just talking yourself into it.
Yeah, it
between
really
the
is.
pauses.
This has been me all week where it's like, yeah, there's no chance in hell. But, you know, if all 500 things go right, then maybe. Absolutely.
That's all we need, baby.
That's right.
Because this is the one chance. Yeah.
You know, earlier we got a question about upsets, and I was going to ask you guys, but now that we're here, if you had to rank the teams to pull off an upset in the East, so it would be, in terms of no chance, it would be the Sixers?
Yeah.
And then the Raptors? Or would you do the Hornets and
so.
then the... Okay.
For
right,
me,
just
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I would go Hawks, Hornets, Raptors, Sixers. But I would have the Raptors outside of no chance tier. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, like you said, it is the Cavs. Like, well, you could tell me the most embarrassing outcome possible happens to this team, and I'd be like, I fucking guess. Yeah, you know, that's totally in play. So you at least have that going for you, but all the other stuff is pretty Cleveland slanted, it feels like.
Yeah.
What's crazy is did we mention that these teams haven't played it's these two, right, that have not played each other since before Thanksgiving? That's correct?
since before your Thanksgiving. Yes, that's correct.
Yo,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
right.
culturally
Oh.
insensitive. I forgot the
How
Canadians
dare you.
have their own.
Dude.
How
You're
dare you, Pablo?
Is yours before or after?
we're before. We're like
before or after the real one?
I think we're like a month and a half before you guys or something. We're the first week of October.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah.
But so
okay.
yeah, that was this matchup. They just played each other a bunch to like start the year, didn't
Dude,
they?
one of the first times that the Raptors played the Cavs, the Jays were still in the World Series, man.
Oh
So-
yeah, in your video you
Oh.
said that, and there was
Yeah.
like such a longing in your voice. You were like,
Oh, I'm sad all
last
over.
time
I
these
remember
guys
watching the
played.
end. I remember watching the end of Game 7, and I thought
Oh,
of when
fuck
they
off.
messed up the throw. I was like, "Damn, that's got to be so sad right now,
Fuck,
dude."
I'm sick right now thinking about it. I've like compartmentalized that in my brain to try not to think about that.
Oh man,
Oh,
Wait,
It's
are they
tough.
bad this year or no?
They suck.
The
Yeah, they
Jays?
suck. They're very injured to start the year, and they can't hit for shit. And so, yeah, tough days for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's why baseball is weird. Baseball is
Yeah.
a weird sport because one year you could be in the World Series, and the other year you're just like, why is this team bad? Like what?
And it could be all the same guys. And it's
It
like,
could be
oh,
all
yeah,
the
he's-
same guys.
It
Yeah.
was just a year. He was just MVP for a year, and now he's
Yeah.
not very good.
Well, that's why I feel like that's why the old guys in Moneyball who are like, he's got an ugly girlfriend. I feel like that's why they were so successful for so long.
Yeah.
It's because it's a sport that it kind of lends itself to like, yeah,
Sure.
this euphemism works here, I guess. Like I
Yeah,
don't have any other
yeah.
explanation.
His parents got divorced when he was 6. They never been any stability. Don't expect stability in his batting average.
Mean
It's not gonna hold
stepdad,
up.
real mean stepdad. This guy, yeah.
All right,
Okay,
let's check
do we
out
have-
the Toronto Raptors. Okay. Do. Wait a second. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot going on here that is unrelated to okay, let's just start with this. This is from Skylar Dickens, new Chicago Sky member. Will Glorilla and Aubrey Graham's presence courtside make people care about this funky team? How do they prosper? Is the only way outlier magnet shooting ball? I hope RJ has a moment.
I hope RJ has a moment too. That would be very cool. Yeah, 'cause
What does magnet ball look like for this team? Like
Just-
who is Ingram? Is he hitting Ingram and Jacoby?
Yeah,
This is-
Ingram, Jacoby, like Scotty. Like I told you guys, Scotty's shooting 30% from 3 this year. If he shoots 34%, that's magnet ball. If you end up having like a crazy shooting game from Mamu, where he averages like 15 for the series, which honestly, wouldn't like shock me. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Wouldn't be the worst thing, that's for sure. But yeah, that's probably it. And then RJ like shoots like 40% from 3 or something, which is also
Booyah.
not a shock. I wouldn't be surprised. RJ will have a good series. I feel like I'm stamping that good series. for RJ Barrett.
Whoa. Wait, who's going to be guarding
Whoa.
RJ?
James Harden. Wait,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah, probably James Harden.
Don't bring him down to the
Oh, man.
post. Focus on
Yeah.
beating him on the perimeter.
Yeah, the drive. Yeah, drive finish lefty. That's yeah.
The
He
recipe
has
is
one.
there.
He has one of the 12 skills that James Harden has, which is just lefty finish.
He's like,
Wow.
if James Harden grew up a little stronger and was like, I don't need a freaking bag. I'm going to
Yeah, I don't need a
these
jump
guys.
shot. What do I need that?
This is from Scotty Barnes Believer. Hey, Poop and Goop. Playoff basketball is back in Toronto. Get hyped. As much as I would love
That's
to optimism, Max, this is the first round exit, which was foretold. I've been thinking about the defensive matchups, and at this point, screw offense. We'd suck at it even if we tried. I think starting CMB and bringing RJ off the bench gives us more size and allows for Scotty to switch on to their guards. Thoughts? It's over anyways. Thanks. Love the pod. What do you think about that tweet?
I actually do think they should start CMB but that's more because I think Jakob Pearl has been kind of cooked here recently.
Mhm.
He's had moments, and hopefully Jakob has a healthy series, but yeah, I think they should start CMB. I think they will probably eventually decide to start CMB. The other aspect, no, I don't think they should bench RJ. I'm a staunch. If you're a Scotty Barnes believer, I'm a staunch RJ Barrett believer. So
Okay.
Ew. My RJ Barrett hatred goes back to it's like a completely different universe where I was upset at Duke that he was taking shots away from Zion.
wow.
Fast forward, I couldn't be less invested in either one of these guys. It's a whole nother life.
But
It's
the
funny how that
residuals-
little thought can like develop into something. That ends up happening for so many random players too. I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure there are players that you know what? Like I used to love Julius Randle when he was on the Lakers.
Oh,
I was like,
God,
Julius
yeah.
Randle is going to be the greatest of all time. And then I just grew to not enjoy his game at all, you know? But hey, it is what it is. Randle's awesome. Shout out to Timberwolves fans, whatever.
That's so
What-
funny. That's
what-
yeah. Like, oh, you go, Pablo.
No, you could say.
I was just gonna say, I don't know, like Julius Randle in LA doing like the bruiser bully ball ugly
Yeah.
basketball. It's like this is really cool.
This is
And then
awesome.
the
Yeah.
same exact bag like 9 years later. It's like
Can't wait till
dude,
he adds more.
come on, please.
Kobe say he's really tough. that's their.
That was
their
exactly how I
posting
sounded
up.
9 years ago, actually.
And another thing we talk about on here a lot is there's a lot of little fan base animosity towards specific players that I think people outside don't really know. And so one of the recent examples is Kings fans hate Jaden Ivey because everyone told them they were stupid for drafting Keegan Murray over Jaden Ivey. So
Oh,
when all the
right,
Jaden
right.
Ivey
Yeah.
stuff happened, the Kings fans were like, yep, you guys thought you knew right, but we knew all along. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there was a similar thing with Raptors fans and Jalen Suggs. Was that true,
Yes.
and is that still true?
Yeah, it's basically Raptors fans and anybody within the vicinity of Scotty Barnes draft wise. It just doesn't matter. It's like blind fury for any of them, really. It's Evan Mobley, which I'm very excited for. It's
Really?
Jalen Suggs. And by the way, the funny thing is, like, Scotty is best friends with all of these guys. Like, he loves Jalen Suggs. He loves Evan Mobley. He's huge. He's a big fan of Cade Cunningham's. Like, they're like best friends. But anytime these guys match up, it's like Scotty should have went number one, you know? And that's just the way fandom works, man. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in 2026 when it comes to the NBA fandom. But yeah, blind fury everywhere. That's what it is for anybody. Also, there's a huge Brandon Ingram following, which I don't know if you guys know, but
really?
I have become very aware of because obviously he's a Duke guy, and so a lot of
Yeah.
Duke people follow him, but he's also an ex-Laker, and a lot of Lakers
Yeah.
people follow him. And so Duke, Lakers, it's just a massive group of Brandon Ingram
Wow.
fans who are just
It's
like,
Israel. That's like the whole population right there. Yeah, no. I could see it where it's like he also has the pure hooper
He has the
aspect
pure
to his
hooper
game
aesthetic
where it's
too.
like
He had the next KD rep back in the
Yeah, yeah.
day.
yep.
yeah.
And he's
So-
like one of the Kobe disciple guys too, because he
Yeah.
played with that team. So it's just
Yeah. So you're
That's
you're like
interesting.
not the strongest Ingram showing tonight, and people are like, dude,
How dare you? Yeah, exactly.
who hired this guy? How do you have a job right now?
Dude, I someone told me the other day to get off of my moose. That was awesome.
I saw
Shout
that.
out
I
to
saw
y'all.
that on Twitter.
Shout out to you guys. That was incredible. I laughed
And was
so
it was
much.
it what was it for? Was it like Brandon Ingram needs to rotate here? He's got 7-foot wingspan. It'd be
Yeah,
nice
he-
if we got
he
some
has-
secondary rim protection.
He has to make the pass. No, it wasn't even a Brandon Ingram thing. I think it was like a Cavs guy who had watched that same 3-factor video you watched, and he was just like he responded, I think 20 times. He dropped like 20
Oh,
comments, and he's like,
man.
"Get off of your moose, buddy." I like
And
it.
it was
I
all
like
in
get off
defense
your
of Brandon
moose.
Ingram?
It was all in defense of somebody. I don't know what it was all in defense of, but "get off of your moose" is such a good saying that I'm going to
Yeah.
incorporate it into my life. Like, how do you
Hey,
not?
if I could ride a moose, I would. That's a
Same.
cool animal, you know.
Yeah.
What does America have? Freaking no large. I guess like bears and mountain lions and shit. But the North American bison. My bad. I'm talking shit.
That's right.
Okay,
Okay.
we have one more Raptors question. And by the way, at the end of this, he says, if Maharaga was to face off against Wemby, how do you think his offense would have? We don't have time for that. All right, so this is from Burnt Waffles. Hello, and McGurd. Longtime listener, first-time lobbyist, and as a born and raised Spurs fan, in 2019, I found myself as the black sheep of the fan base because of my inability to root against Kawhi and the Raptors. Fast forward to the present, and because of that magical run, I still have a soft spot for this team. My biggest qualm is they currently seem poised to be solid, but not great anytime soon. Would a deeper run this playoffs be more beneficial or detrimental for their timeline?
Detrimental for sure, because they would probably believe in this group more than what it is. But at the same time, if they do make a run, it's always one of those things where people say, oh, should this guy get paid the max? Should this guy make all NBA and be an all NBA player? It's always a back and forth thing because like if he made all NBA, then he's an all NBA level player. Now you have that type of guy on your team. And if he doesn't make all NBA, then maybe you made the mistake of paying him in the first place, So if they make a run, the positive side of it is this team is probably better than we think and their game translates to the playoffs. If not, then this team isn't worth investing in anyways. So you might learn something regardless. But yeah, I agree. I think this summer will be big for them. Like looking forward, if we will, to this summer and this offseason, they have a lot of decisions to make. They probably should try and get a guard. Please, just get a good guard. That would be awesome.
Even a small one, bro?
No, not a small one.
Shrimp?
My pipe dream is like the Hornets are just like, we did a good job this year, but like we would prefer Kobe White over LaMelo Ball and just just trade LaMelo.
Nice.
That would be not possible.
You want LaMelo? I thought we were going for Kobe
I do
there.
fantasize about other GMs just getting like carbon monoxide poisoning and picking up the phone.
And it's going to be posting a lot of LaMelo turnover clips over the course of this first round. He's not the guy. When you factor in the car troubles outside, I don't think he's the guy. I think we build our own con and move him somewhere. I don't know where.
Right. That's right. Yeah. In my opinion, it's time for them to break things up. I don't know. There's just, a guard would be nice. There's not a lot of guards available in the NBA right now. It'd be sick for the Raptors to find a guard, but that's them's the
Would
breaks.
you like the Giddler?
No, I would not like to get them.
He's big.
Nice succinct response. I'd rather have a small guard, I guess, if you're making a gun to my head.
Yeah, no Giddler for me. No thank you.
All right. Any Cavs shit that we got to get to at all?
I forgot about them. Let's see. There's only one. Perfect. This is from the Struce is Loose. Good evening, Jack and the Beanstalk. I can't believe you guys read my first lobbyist request. I literally subscribed to the Patreon, submitted my request, and had an answer all in less than 24 hours. This level of instant gratification cannot be good for me. Guys, this is true. No, it is good for you. So, guys, subscribe with the hopes that this can happen to you.
First one's free, so just keep going.
Anyways, my question is, does it even matter who makes it out of the East? I think that 1, OKC, 2, Spurs, and 3, Nuggets are clearly the best teams. Can you realistically envision a world in which any team out of the East takes any of those 3 down? Maybe, maybe with injuries / long series. Thanks.
Yeah. I think the Celtics.
Boston.
Yeah. Like if J-Dub sucks on offense, if that's real, and there's a few more injuries, I feel like OKC's very susceptible. I feel like, they won 64 games because Shea was incredible this year, but that doesn't necessarily translate to like your team being the strongest come, June or whatever. And then the Spurs similarly, like Spurs are playing 2 guys who could have like 20% 3-point shooting series. Like that's definitely in the cards. And so when you throw in factors like that, Boston could do it. It's just outside of Boston. It's tough to see some of these East teams.
I agree. I also think like if it was like Boston, San Antonio, that is the peak experience factor NBA Finals series where kind of feels like the 2007 Finals where LeBron made it and the Spurs were just so much better and so much more experience. And that Cavs team was just god awful. But
We
anyways.
can't have that. If Wemby makes the finals, he has to win the finals, and so
That's
really,
true.
That's
Finals
yeah,
L's
for the
are
So
agenda.
if he
for
makes
the
it, but he
agenda.
gets like destroyed by the Celtics, if it's
Oh,
like a
that's not
4-1
good.
series,
we can't do that. It's that
No.
cannot happen.
That cannot happen.
We like Kada, but we can't go that far. We
Okay.
can't
Kata's
have a
got
Kada.
to
All right.
die
We can't have
if
Kada
Wemby
wreck
gets to the
Wemby in a
finals.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Damn.
We'll be at
when-
Kata's hotel room with an envelope of something. I'll tell you that much.
Oh man! All right. Well, that's all. That's the fucking East playoffs preview. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
yeah.
Do you want to plug anything? Well, you have this enormous platform.
No, man, just tap into everything. Playoffs will be fun. Hoops, basketball, etc. Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on, man. East preview. Look at us, 2 hours. Last time
2
I did a pod
hours.
with you, Jack, was 3 hours for the movie stuff. 2 hours this time. We're working on it. We're getting there.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
Nice. Brevity. I like it. Okay. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Hell
And
yeah.
Dave Robinson, take it away.
Up tempo means I'm gonna run you into the ground.